So the politicians and the bosses want us to scapegoat migrants and migrant workers. However, the bosses at Sotheby's showed their true colours last week when, after a group of mainly migrant workers picketed a £1 million sale, they showed up for work the next day and were told to go home. So I think we need to give an absolutely warm welcome of solidarity to Percy and Barbara, sacked Sotheby's workers, and their union rep Petros.
What's my name?
Emma.
As Emma said, I'm the union rep, and I'll try and keep my speech brief so you can hear from more from Percy and Barbara. But just to say a little bit about our union, which is called United Voices of the World, which is a small grassroots union which is comprised almost entirely of migrant workers in London's service sector. And I see that message there, migrants are welcome here, and that's, you know, it's good to see that written somewhere instead of hearing the usual vitriol from the government and other groups. And, you know, people talk a lot about migrants keeping wages down, whereas in our union, we're fighting living wage campaigns, and we're winning them, and they're all being fought by migrant workers. And actually, many of the other workers that may be British-born in the places where we're organising, they're not for various reasons involved. So I'm actually seeing migrant workers, you know, bringing wages up. You know, they're taking wages from the minimum wage to the living wage. And we're involved in many disputes at the moment. We recently won in the multinational law firm Withers the London Living Wage, which they were all earning the minimum wage, and after the threat of direct and industrial action, they caved within a week, which was just fantastic. And they all bumped up their wages to the living wage and backdated it. We're involved in disputes in the Barbican Centre, where again we won the living wage, and we're currently fighting for sick pay. And Sorry, I didn't prepare a speech, obviously, sorry. Anyway, just to say, in Sotheby's, if we could have all the support, and you'll hear more from Percy and Barbara, because as you'll hear from them, we were pushing for, we won the living wage here, we wanted it backdated, we wanted sick pay, and we wanted an end to trade union victimisation. We went out there to protest. The next day they went into work, and they threw them out like a bag of potatoes the next day, and they even said shamelessly, the reason we're firing you is because you protested. So when companies have actually been open about that, then it's pretty scary. But we are determined to carry on, and we'll be there every single week until we get them reinstated.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here. Me and Barbara and, well, the other two guys, we were protesting, asking for that living wage backdated, sick pay, and stop the trade union victimization. We went last Wednesday to protest with the support of many other groups. So next day, when we were to work, we were stopped at the door saying that we not allow anymore to outside because we were protesting yesterday, what we asking is any support will be very appreciated. As Petros said, we're gonna go every week because we're not gonna give up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Barbara. I'm working at Sotheby's since 2009. And as Petros explained, we participate in the protest demanding our contractual sick pay and the London living wages backdated. So that was on 30th of June, and the next day, 1st of July, we went to work as normal, and we been stopped at the door saying that the client has requested our removal from the site. So personally, I had my personal stuff, my medicine in my locker, and I asked to the boss, please, if they could let me in. And I was escorted by a security guard. I was treated like I was a criminal. So it's really disgraceful from Sotheby's. We do such a great job for them, and this is how they treat us. So we are here to ask you for your support. Please come to support for our campaigns, come to the protest. Please stay, keep in touch on Facebook with the United Voices of the World, on Twitter. Please write to Sotheby's. We want our jobs back. We haven't done absolutely nothing wrong. We only practice our right, which is the protest. So please, we ask you for support. Thank you.
Thursday, 6 p.m.
So officially, we would like to invite you on Thursday. Which day is it?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to meet at Oxford Circus Station, where the Benetton, the shop is, and after we all go together to Sotheby's. Thank you.
So everybody in London put the 16th of July in their diaries.
What we desperately need are bigger and wider networks, because we need those networks to coordinate our action. We need those networks to make sure that we support the Sotheby's workers and we don't let what the government are trying to do, which is to divide us and come and scare us and come with all of their attacks on our rights and our rights to protest and our trade union rights. What we have to say is, if that's what scares them, if that's what scares the bosses, if that's what scares the government, our protests and our strike action, then what we need to do is to give them more of that. And